Back to Matthew chapter 24. We can start at verse 10. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world, for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Then ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet. Stand in the holy place. Whosoever reads, let him understand. Then let him which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of the house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, nor on the Sabbath day. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. When they say peace and safety, sudden destruction will come upon them. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to bring peace. And it's not going to be the type of peace that Jesus gives us, because Jesus gives us an inner peace, a peace that brings joy. But the Antichrist is going to bring a worldly peace that is not going to really be peace. It's going to be, it's going to be a peace pact that he's going to break after the first 3.5 years of the tribulation. He's going to break that peace pact, and he's going to show who he really is. Okay, so the world is going to be in complete darkness, and it's going to be like what it says in Isaiah chapter 5:20, where it says, woe unto those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Where evil is going to be good and good is going to be evil. And you can't even tell someone about Jesus, because everyone will get offended if they hear you speak about Jesus. It'll be illegal to preach the gospel, and there will be no safe place on earth for a Bible-believing Christian. Your own family and friends will turn you in. These things I have spoken unto you, that ye should not be offended. They shall put you out of the synagogue. Yeah, the time comes that whosoever kills you will think that they do God service. Matthew chapter 10 verse 28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. We are warned not to take the mark of the beast. So let's just go back to the abomination of desolation. I've already read where Jesus mentioned the abomination of desolation. And in his estate shall stand up a vile person, to whom they shall not give the honor of the kingdom, but he shall come in peaceably and obtain the kingdom by flatteries. We talked about how the first 3.5 years he comes in peaceably, and he brings peace and safety on the earth, an earthly peace that will be the start of the New World Order, one world religion, one world currency, where the world all comes to one and takes the mark of the beast and bows down to his image. And the only ones that are going to refuse are going to be the God-fearing Christian. Not going to be a safe place on earth for them. You can't buy or sell without the mark of the beast. So you're going to be an outcast. Okay, a misfit. You're going to have to go off the grid, because they're going to be looking for you. If you don't have the mark, they're either going to put you in some FEMA camp for a few days and then have you slain. But I truly believe that even though our rights are going to be taken away and they're going to be off the grid, I truly believe that the Antichrist doesn't start having these Christians killed until he reveals who he truly is. He's going to come after them. He's going to pour out his wrath. Because let me tell you, tribulation and wrath are not the same thing. Tribulation is a time when the Antichrist, his time of reign on earth. He's going to rule the earth, okay? And the Bible says that, the God of this world is pretty much the devil, okay? And the devil's going to come in the flesh as a man, and he has a short time. Okay, before we go into the book of Daniel, I wanted to mention something about the abomination of desolation. Once was a Greek ruler by the name of Antiochus Epiphanes. He set up an altar to Zeus, and he sacrificed a pig. Now, this is what's known as the abomination of desolation. But Jesus is not talking about that abomination of desolation. He's talking about a future event, because Antiochus Epiphanes did not set up a 7-year peace pact. So Jesus is talking about a future event. Also Daniel is as well. And this is something that's going to take place by the Antichrist. Turn to Daniel chapter 9 verse 27. He will confirm a covenant with many for 1 7. And in the middle of the 7 he will put an end to sacrifice and offerings. And at the temple he will set up the abomination that causes desolation. The end that is decreed is poured out on him. Turn to Daniel chapter 7 verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time. Okay, so right there it says time. He would change times and seasons, and the saints will be in his hands. They will be given to him until a time, times, and a half a time. Okay, times, and a half a time is 3.5 years. Okay, so what I'm about to read, I want you to pay close attention, okay? Also pay attention to when I say a time, times, and a half a time, because it's talking about the Great Tribulation period. All right, we're going to Daniel chapter 12. I'm going to read most of that chapter. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which stands for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book of life. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Then I, Daniel, looked, and behold, there stood another two, the one on this side of the bank of the river, and the other on the side of the bank of the river. And one said to the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, How long shall it be to the end of these wonders? And I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, when he held up his right hand and his left hand unto heaven, and swore by him that lived forever and ever, that it shall be for a time, times, and a half a time. And when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished. And I heard, but I understood not. Then said I, O my Lord, what shall be the end of these things? And he said, Go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed until the time of the end. Many shall be purified and made white and tried. But the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. And from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that makes desolate set up, there shall be 1,290 days. Blessed is he that waits and comes to the 1,335 and 30 days. But go thou thy way till the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of the days. Okay, so we covered the book of Daniel, where he talks about the end times, the abomination of desolation. He mentions the great tribulation, that it would be a times and a half a time, which is 3.5 years. And not only does the book of Daniel mention a time and a half a times, but also the book of Revelation mentions it. And they're talking about the great tribulation. And as I said before, the great tribulation is identified as a times and a half a time, 3.5 years, 42 months, and 1,260 days. It all means 3.5 years.